Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Indie Music Plus podcast, episode 32. It's the final blab tonight. I am JoJo Keys, sitting here with Mr. Garbage Pail David Werba. As you can see, he decided to show us his incredibly large and full garbage can. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. It's I'm starting to get emotional, man. It's like our last blab show. Our like hardcore followers knew. They already know that last week we're on Facebook Live, and it was awesome. And like already we can kind of see like where the show's going. There's a lot more that we can do over there. And yeah, we're not going to go too deep into like the pitfall, the downfall of blab. It's just a story in itself. But yeah, I do just a quick reflection. I just wanted to say I like just how awesome it's been here, man. I mean, we spent a lot of time here. We met here. We made a lot of friends, got new business, met artists here. You know, I'll just list a few that I can remember that we got to do like shout outs for, like Southern California basketball legend Allison Krauss, of course. Mary Crum, who's always always a treat to speak with.
Helen.
Rob Hicks, of course.
Helen.
Cliff Bodenschnauzen.
Yes.
Helen of London.
Thank you.
How many? Anyone else? I mean, who?
Vicky Fitch, I don't know.
Yeah, the queen of the Fitch slap.
All kinds of people here that you get to know and meet.
Yeah, it's been quite an experience here, and it's we friended them on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. So we're going to keep in touch. But yeah, we're just titling this. This is probably going to be our last, at least podcast here. We may do some hangouts here, but yeah, we're moving on, man. We need more production, and we have a production team, and it just doesn't work here anymore. So
yeah. Plus, it's just such a bigger audience on Facebook, you know, and I've noticed this week, I put a couple bucks in the promotions and stuff, but overall our reach and the views and stuff on it, and even the stats behind it, are just so much better that we can see a lot better more what's going on with the show, and so that we can make it better in the long run and keep progressing, you know, as more of a broadcast show rather than just a podcast or whatever, you know, you call it. So
yeah, exactly.
Yep. So
Cicero,
with that,
you know, Cicero, Mike, Loopy, like our writers. Yeah. I mean, it's like there's a lot of people that. Yeah. We
have some more writers that are coming on too that I've been talking to. Ninth Floor Mannequins, one of them.
Yeah, Jared Padone's gonna. Yep. I guess he's gonna start writing for us, which would be awesome.
Yep. So anyway, let's. So this week I favored the free submissions to the podcast off of the website. And this is going to be the first one that I found. This band's called Signet with their song Sirens. And that's Signet with Sirens on the Indie Music Plus podcast, episode 32. It's the final. I'm not even going to try. So, I noticed these guys right away because, as we've talked about in the past, I like this kind of music. And there's something weird sounding to me about the actual recording, like the actual sound quality. I don't know if it's my speakers, but something in the bass range sounds weird to me. But overall, I really, really like the song. I think they're really tight. I love the melodic metal, you know.
This is your stuff, man.
Yeah, totally. And like the way the song starts out, I love how it just takes a left turn when they come in singing and stuff. It doesn't sound like it's going to go into that thrash type feel. So,
yeah, I didn't hear any issues in terms of the bass. I thought it was pretty solid. It was, I mean, it's mastered is maybe more compressed than most of the songs.
That's actually what I wanted to say. That's what I was hearing was the compression. It seemed over mastered just a touch to me.
Yeah, but you know that's I guess debatable. That's something that I would like to talk more about, maybe outside of the podcast, of what's the right level of compression. Because you look at bands like Nickelback, that is like some of the most compressed like mainstream music that is out there. It's so compressed, yet I think there was one year what they had like the most radio plays in the country. So it's like, well,
radio's compressed too.
No, I know, but it's just the choice to like compress that much is like, is it wrong? It's like, well, there's been artists that were number one in radio plays in the country, and like Nickelback, and I think that was over compressed, but it worked for them. But it was a pretty good mix. When you look at the individual instruments, you know, the musicians, just the musicianship, it was awesome. I mean, like who's lacking in that song? I mean, like the drums are killer. Like the guitarist is just insane, and they're so tight. I mean, they're like virtuosos pretty much. And vocals are awesome. He reminded, man, I can't remember the name of the artist that we reviewed a few months back that reminded me of that band Default, but it sounds like that. I mean, is this the first song that we've reviewed of this band, or?
Yeah, I just found them on the podcast today. So
yeah, his voice sounds familiar. Yeah, but reminded me of maybe Breaking Benjamin, which I actually did a showcase tour with way back when. Maybe even a little Paramore. Obviously different vocals, but that style of music. Really good though, man. Like top notch. I mean, it was. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to listen again to their music. So,
yeah. As far as the one more thing on the mastering for me, like that, I'm glad you said that because that is what I was meaning to say. It wasn't really just the bass, but it was the overall song. And you can, if you really listen to the cymbals, that's what gave it away for me. Is the cymbals just sounded washy here and there. It was a really full sound though, and I mean, you know, it didn't sound bad. I liked it a lot. So
that's a good point. Like over compression with the cymbals, they just go. Zzz. You know, it's like they get what happened to it. There's no like resonance in some of the stuff, and it. But for certain style of music, I mean, it's
good.
It is good because like the over compression, when a song has high compression, you can turn it up really loud and it's still okay. Like you can still enjoy it. So you can just crank it up and you're just like get lost in the music. If a song's not mastered, you start turning up the volume, it's painful. Like it hurts your ears. Like it just, the tone just starts getting messed up. But so yeah, we'll let's revisit that discussion, the compression thing. But.
All right, so let's round up the last Blabcast on Indie Music Plus podcast. Another band that I found off of the free submissions on the website, which you can also go and submit your music as well. This is a band called Traverse Town with their song Just Kids.
And I saw a trace of what could be a light, a shimmer in the dark, it was shining for me. I guess at times a funny thing, slowly getting faster, rolling steady to the rhythm of your swing. And I'm not the one with the big ideas, I'm sailing waters being pushed by my hopes and fears. We're just kids trying to make it, not break it all.
Just Kids by Traverse Town on the Indie Music Plus podcast, episode 32. It's the final blab. Not really that sad about it, honestly, because we have a really, really cool thing going on Facebook Live, which will also be on YouTube starting next week with enlightened audio-visual. So make sure to go to our Facebook page at the same time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, facebook.com/Indie Music Plus. Dave, you look like you have something to say.
Yeah, I had most of my feedback on this song is engineering and mixing decisions, and I'll try and be cordial.
And is there something new about that? No.
I'll try and be cordial. Great song. This is a little more my personal style, just like the alt avant rock type of, stuff. And it was a great song, man. Like right when it started playing, I'm like, okay, this is cool. Good voice, good performance by the musicians. There's just certain things where I'm just like, what are you guys doing? That's
what I liked about it.
I want to talk to the engineer, but like the snare is panned totally far left. What?
They did some weird stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I really want to understand the logic behind some of those decisions, and I'm not going to jump to conclusions or anything and just say, oh, that's horribly wrong or anything. I don't know. It just sounded unnatural to me because of the mixing, the panning decisions, man. Like the panning. Nobody puts the snare on the absolute far left. It's just way out here, right? It's like it causes your brain to just go over there, and when you should probably be focusing on the song, it's like a distraction. And I didn't like that. It kind of detracted from the allure of the song to me. Just that simple panning decision. The acoustic guitars, I would just pan a little more off the center. The vocals were maybe a touch hot, but didn't bother me. Yeah, it was mostly, man, once that snare was kicking in, I'm like, that's all I was thinking about. I'm just wanting to talk to an engineer. Why'd you do that? Why did you choose to go so far left? I'm just I really want to know that. I really want to give him a call and just say what I don't know.
Well, that was partly why I picked the song, was because it was real unique. And I don't know if you listened to the entire song, but at the end there's some really cool keyboard stuff going on, which are out of nowhere.
Oh, was
that
it?
was
Awesome.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
It just changes. The song just morphs and changes throughout the whole thing. That it's almost like it's not the same song as when it started, and that's what I really liked about it. Is cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Yeah. So this one could have been compressed a touch more.
Exactly. Yep. I agree.
And just a quick side note on vocals. I mean, dude, there's mainstream artists where it sounds to me like the vocals are just too hot, which is Ed Sheeran. I think his vocals are just way too far up in the mix, and it's just way too dry. But he won a Grammy this year, so it's
yep. It's all about the vocals, man. It's all about the vocals.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just
there's actually one group that I was looking at the podcast for the podcast tonight off the website that I really, really liked, but that was one thing. The reason why I didn't pick them was the vocals, whether they did it on purpose or not, were too low, just too low. Couldn't hear them.
Yeah.
So anyway, have anything you'd like to say about Blab one last time before we get kicked off, before we leave?
Not about Blab, but I mean, I don't know. This is my commemorative little placement there. I shaved tonight. I cut myself, and I left it.
So did I.
Yeah. Just to commemorate our Blab experience right there.
There you go.
Website, quick updates. I'm playing around with some new color schemes.
I saw it looks like
just experimenting, which is just trying to find the right balance and everything. We got a lot of news coming soon. A lot of stuff in the works. We can't mention it quite yet, but it's kind of it's more about like placements for artists. So it's like really exciting. That's something that we want to do for people.
That's what we've kind of wanted to do in the first place.
Yeah, big time. So.
Yep, and then also don't forget the podcast is moving to Facebook Live, and it will also be other places soon. Be at 9:00 Eastern time. So go and like our Facebook page, please, at Indie Music Plus. Follow us on Twitter. Find us on Google, Instagram, and IndieMusicPlus.com. So, Blab, thank you for letting us do podcasts on here for so long, and thank you for being cool. Sorry you decided to change your mind about all that, but we're going to move on, and we'll still hang out here. We'll still see us at our musicians roundtables here for a while until we decide to move that somewhere else, until they just kick us all out and say, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here kind of thing. So this is Indie Music Plus Podcast, episode 32. Everybody that's here watching right now, thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. And everybody on YouTube and on the website, thanks for watching us there. And y'all have a great week. We'll see you next time.